Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. On there, YouTube will be coming on shortly. It will come on shortly, YouTube. Big day today for us. We're about 30-ish hours away from full monetization on YouTube. So today it's kind of an open conversation. We get to talk about anything and everything. So give me one more minute. I'm actually going to go live on Instagram. And let's see if we can get some folks on Instagram to come to the YouTube live stream. Folks, thank you so much for joining. Let's go ahead, and I'm about to be live in a bit. We're going to talk about different things today, so let's do it. Let's do it. All right, thank you so much. Dímelo, mi gente, live on YouTube. Thank you so much. We're at 30 hours. We're about 30 hours away from full monetization. So, yeah, 30 hours, 30.4 hours to go. So that means I need everyone that's on Instagram. I'm actually live on Instagram right now. Hey, everyone on Instagram. Please join me on YouTube. All right? Because if we get 30, what is it? We need if everyone watches this live for 1 hour. So we need 30 people to watch this YouTube live stream for the next hour on YouTube. We get the 30 watch hours. Some people watch some extra videos. We will get full monetization by Monday morning. So then that way, hopefully from there, all the videos become monetized. So really, this is the last big push. So if you join me on YouTube, I will answer all your questions on YouTube. I'll answer any questions. This is the last big push. All right? So YouTube gets priority on all questions. All right, so let's do it. All right, let's do it. Okay, so we got like I said, I want to talk about a bunch of different things today. Okay, I definitely want to talk about the Eliminatorias. There's a let's preview the Eliminatorias coming up. I know we got the other semifinal between PSG and Real Madrid, but honestly, like, do we really care about any of those games? Let me know in the comments if we really want to preview that game. I think it's a pretty straightforward game in regards to the results. I think it's just pretty much, hey, Real Madrid obviously has the team, but, PSG are the winners, and so we're just going to go with the winners. So I'm picking PSG to win that game then. And then that means that we're going to have a Chelsea-PSG. Please, anybody but Chelsea, because I cannot stand that coach. I cannot stand that fan base. So please, anyone but Chelsea to win the Club World Cup final. Please, let it be the case. Okay. Like I said, Instagram, thank you for joining here on this live. If you want to join me on YouTube, please do so. The YouTube live stream is up now. We're looking to get the final 30 watch hours. So if 30 of you join me for the entire hour of this live, then we will achieve monetization by Monday, because the hours get delayed and stuff like that. And then we pretty much are set to go starting next week, full-on monetization of this channel. So again, if you're on Instagram, go join me on YouTube, and I'm only answering questions on YouTube. So if you want your questions answered about the World Cup, anything related to it, I'm only answering on YouTube. Okay, that would get more folks here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a preview of las Eliminatorias Suramericanas, match day 17, match day 18. Okay, CONMEBOL has released the official times for when these games are going to be played, and really, I'm actually kind of surprised by the times, because if you look on the screen here, all of the games on match day 17, which is September 4th, okay? I believe September 4th. Oh my goodness, I probably should have popped up a calendar. Give me a second here. When is September 4th? I should have looked at the calendar first. Give me 1 second right here. September 4th is a Thursday, okay? So Thursday, September 4th. And then Tuesday, September 9th. So it's the Thursday to Tuesday. We're going back to that schedule as opposed to the Friday-Tuesday schedule that we had match day 15 and 16. And if you see there, Paraguay, Uruguay, Argentina, Venezuela, Uruguay, Peru, and Colombia, Bolivia will all start at 7:30 p.m. Okay? So this is really interesting to see because obviously we still have a couple spots left in Las Eliminatorias open. Okay? And so basically we're basically playing like if it was the third group stage game at the World Cup. All right, based on the fact of the standings that we got left, okay? So as of today, we have Argentina, Ecuador, Brazil are officially qualified for the World Cup. All right, they're officially in. Uruguay, Paraguay need a point, or at least get one more point higher than Venezuela, because remember, Venezuela is the last place, or rather, it's the 7th place team that will go for repechaje, and the top 6 go in. So Uruguay, Paraguay need results, and so does Colombia, all right? So those 3 teams need results, and so that's why their games are being played at the same time. Venezuela, Colombia, Uruguay, and not Paraguay, right? And Paraguay, excuse me, okay? So those teams are all playing at the same time. Bolivia also is playing against Colombia, so that's why, they still have an outside chance of getting the repechaje. That's why those 4 games are starting at the same time, okay? And then Brazil, Chile. Brazil's already qualified in. Chile is virtually eliminated. Actually, I think they are eliminated from the World Cup officially. Let's see. They only got 2 more games. Yeah, they're officially out. So that game's going to start at 8:30. That game does not matter for the purposes of the standings, okay? So that's why you have these 4 games happening at the same time. Again, we're treating this like it's a group stage match, the third group game at the World Cup, okay? That's why we're treating it like this. So it's going to be interesting because, again, the win scenarios, all right? I'm answering all questions on my YouTube live stream. If you want your questions answered, folks, on Instagram, join me on YouTube. We're pushing for the 30 watch hours. We're 30 watch hours away from full monetization. And so I'm hosting all questions on YouTube. So join me on YouTube, okay? I will only answer questions on YouTube. All right. So if you take a quick look at the standings, all right, basically, para Colombia, para Paraguay, and Uruguay, you win, you're in. It's as simple as that. It cannot get any much easier for any of these countries. You win your game, you're in. All right? It's as simple as that, okay? So that means Paraguay's got to beat Ecuador at home. That means Uruguay's got to beat Peru at home, and Colombia's got to beat Bolivia at home. So obviously, the easier game, Paraguay has the tougher game of the 3, but because Ecuador is already in, all right, because Ecuador's already in, that should be a relatively easy game, relatively speaking. So if these 3 countries win their home games, they're all in for the World Cup. We have the top 6 sealed up. Of course, that leaves the Venezuela-Bolivia repechaje situation, because Venezuela would have to somehow get a result against Argentina to stay alive against Bolivia, right? Because Venezuela is, first of all, ahead in 7th place. They're a point ahead, all right? And so if Venezuela is able to get a win, okay, that'll launch them to 21. If Colombia does not win, Venezuela still has a chance to qualify automatically, okay? However, if Colombia wins, Venezuela wins, again, Colombia is in, so as long as they match or better Venezuela's result, okay? Uruguay, Paraguay technically only need a point, okay? Because even if Venezuela wins, that's 21. If Uruguay and Paraguay get a point, that's 25. They are in. So Uruguay, Paraguay, with a win, they're in. With a draw, they're in, okay? If they lose, that makes it a little bit dicey for them for the next one, okay? All right, Cincy, let me answer. I wasn't going to talk about drop packs, but let me go ahead and do that as well. Instagram, final shout out here. If you want your questions answered, go join me in the YouTube live stream. We're pushing for the final 30 watch hours that I have left to go, so that way my content can be fully monetized by Monday morning. So if you want your questions answered for the 2026 World Cup, go ahead and join me on YouTube. I will answer all questions only on YouTube. Dale. All right. So, Cincy, let me get to your question after I review the eliminatorias, and then we'll go ahead and talk about a little bit more of the RTBs and whatnot, okay? I've talked plenty about them in some other videos, but I'm happy to go back and review some of that as well, okay? So, now, simple math, right? Uruguay, Paraguay, Colombia win, they are in. Uruguay, Paraguay are also in with a draw regardless of what Venezuela does, okay? Regardless of what Venezuela does, they are in with a draw, okay? It's Colombia that really needs to win, okay? They can also match, okay? They can also match Venezuela's result, and they are in. So, say, for example, Colombia was to lose at home. If Venezuela loses, they are in because of the 4-point difference. So, as long as Colombia matches Venezuela's result or betters it, they are in. Okay? So, the drama could all be done September 4th. Uruguay, Paraguay, Colombia can clinch the final 3 spots, the final 3 automatic spots, and then it's down to the wire for the last game, match day 18, which is Bolivia at home to Brazil, and then Venezuela at home to Colombia. If Colombia wins their match day 17 match, Colombia has nothing to play for against Venezuela. They could just let Venezuela win that game, and then Bolivia would have to do a very difficult job beating Brazil at home, even though they are at home, and that is a bit of a home field advantage in it itself. But they would have the advantage of the heights, but Venezuela would have the advantage of playing a team that's already qualified. Brazil would already be qualified as well, so maybe that's something there. Now, again, if you notice the start times, okay, 7 o'clock for Argentina, Ecuador, they're both in. That game does not matter. Chile, Uruguay, 7:30. Brazil, Bolivia, 7:30. Venezuela, Colombia, 7:30. Peru, Paraguay, 7:30. This, where these fixtures established only for CONMEBOL. So this is for CONMEBOL, but we're going to talk about the controversy that is happening with the Asian Federation, okay? But as you can see, in the event that Uruguay, Venezuela, Paraguay, Bolivia, some of those teams are going to lose, right? But if they're going to have some issues, right, and let's say Uruguay loses, then that's why these games are also starting at 7:30 p.m. because we want to make sure that we're all starting at the same time and there's no tranzas that are happening between any of the teams. No Pacto de Lima situation that was alleged against Colombia back with Peru. They don't want none of that happening in these final 2 match days. So again, the math is pretty simple. Uruguay, Paraguay, Colombia win their match day 17 games. They are in, all right? Paraguay, Uruguay can also draw and be in regardless of what Venezuela does. Colombia doesn't really have that luxury of drawing if Venezuela wins, because then Colombia only gets to 23 points, Venezuela gets to 21. But again, that game is against Argentina on match day 17. So Colombia, it would be really prudent for them to win or better Venezuela's result, because then the last game is Venezuela contra Colombia. Colombia would have to play as the visitors, and that is not an easy match day in Maturin. So Colombia will be very keen to just get the business and done, beat Bolivia, and they are in for the World Cup, okay? So they'll be good in that respect. TikTok, doing something a little bit different. We're only 30 watch hours away from full monetization on YouTube. I'm not answering questions on TikTok. I'm only answering on YouTube. So if you want to join me on the YouTube live stream, join me on the YouTube live stream if you want your questions answered. Join me now, okay? All right. Cincy, I promise I'll get to your question. Let me go ahead and wrap up the eliminatorias, okay? And then we'll go from there. Again, TikTok, I'm not answering questions on TikTok. I'm only answering on YouTube. So go join me on the YouTube live stream. Right now, I'll answer your questions on the YouTube live stream. Okay, so again, the main story here for the CONMEBOL Eliminatorias, they're all starting at the same time, especially for the teams that still have a chance of making it to the World Cup. That's why you have that Brazil-Chile game starting at a different time. No one, that game's inconsequential. And the Ecuador-Argentina game also inconsequential. Those 2 games are not going to matter for standings, but everything could be decided on match day 17th on September 4th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So those are going to be the key games to watch for the CONMEBOL Eliminatorias. All right. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and not answer the FIFA collect drop question just yet. Let me get to Asia, okay? Because there is some massive controversy brewing in how they decided the Asian playoff for the 4th round, okay? So FIFA did not publish their world rankings in June 2025, right? We did not know what the rankings were. What happened is that the AFC and FIFA decided to specially announce an interim ranking on June 13th solely for the purposes of seeding for the 4th round, which means Qatar and Saudi get placed in pot 1. Had they waited for the July 2025 rankings, Saudi Arabia would have been placed in pot 2 and Iraq in pot 1. So basically, they have rigged it so that Qatar and Saudi Arabia get to play their games at home, right? Basically the 4th round is we're gonna have these 2 groups of 3. They're all gonna play in either in the country of the top 2 hosts, or rather the top 2 at the top of the pot, and we'll play the games there. So Saudi has basically been bailed out. Is what's happening, because had they waited for the July 17th rankings, or for the July 25th rankings, which would have come tomorrow, okay, then Saudi would have been placed in pot 2. We would have been playing the games in Iraq and in Qatar. So that is the controversy, which of course that means that Qatar and Saudi are more likely to qualify unless Saudi completely shots the bed and completely fail to win that 3-team group at home. So the draw is going to happen on July 17th, but already the controversy is, well, yeah, this is clearly rigging it to give Qatar and Saudi Arabia more so for Saudi, because Saudi would have been in pot 2 had we used the July 2025 FIFA rankings, which again, they're going to come out tomorrow. Obviously, you see my comment there. What do I think of this situation? Am I surprised? Absolutely not, because, again, as you would expect, they're really trying to lift up Saudi, especially since they're hosting the 2034 World Cup. Yeah, this is just it is fascinating how stupid this looks, right? So yeah, it is what it is. When will UEFA teams start their matches? That is a very good question. I have not looked up the UEFA ones. UEFA has had a weird qualifying campaign. Let me go ahead and put on, the women's Euros in the meantime. But UEFA World Cup qualifying. Yeah, UEFA's had a bit of a weird World Cup qualifying because they're going to be playing all their games almost seemingly in a very short span of time. So it's supposed to be 21st March 2025 until March 31st, 2026. So the first group, 12 groups of 4 or 5 teams will play home and away matches. Group winners will qualify automatically. And then there's the second round, okay, in which 16 teams, 12 group runners-up, and 4 best Nations League group winners will be joined into 4 paths, playing two rounds of single-match playoffs. The 4 path winners will qualify for the World Cup. So there is no repechaje, no playoff for any of the European teams. You basically have to either win the group stage in the first round, be one of the 12 group winners, or you win through the second round playoff. I mean, there's a playoff within, okay? So as you can see here, okay, this is why the European playoff, the European qualification has been really, really weird. Yeah, the matches continue in September. That is correct. But that's why it's really weird, because groups G through L have already started playing, right? They've already started playing. And then match day 5, everyone starts playing, okay? 4 to 6 September, 7 to 9 September, and then October, and then November, okay? So we're basically, the European qualification is going to wrap up quick, okay? Quick, all right? Again, TikTok, thank you for joining. If you want me to answer your questions, you got to join me on the YouTube live stream. You got to join me on the YouTube live stream. We're 30 watch hours away from full monetization. If you want me to answer your questions, join me on the live stream on YouTube. All right? So, the groups right now, that are not playing are these. Group A, Germany, Slovakia, Northern Ireland, Luxembourg. They're not playing right now. There's a playoff spot for the last 4 spot, I think, for UEFA. Is there? Hold on. 16 teams will be drawn into 4 paths playing 2 rounds of single match playoffs. The 4 path winners will qualify for the World Cup. I don't know. I didn't see it. Let me see. Nations League selection. Draw. Oh. This looks too complicated. To say the least. But okay. So the groups not playing right now are these. Germany, Slovakia, Northern Ireland, Luxembourg. Switzerland, Sweden, Slovenia, Kosovo. Denmark, Greece, Scotland, Belarus. France, Ukraine, Iceland, Azerbaijan. Spain, Turkey, Georgia, Bulgaria, Portugal, Hungary, Republic of Ireland, Armenia. Those have not played. These groups have played. Okay? So these groups have played. Okay? Finland, Netherlands, Poland, Lithuania. So, I mean, look at that. Finland in first place. That'd be a surprise over the Netherlands and Poland, to be honest. That'd be a massive shocker. Finland has won which games? They've lost to the Netherlands, but they beat Poland. What other game did they win? They must have won some other game, right? Because they played 4 games. They drew. Yeah, they played other games. Okay. Then Bosnia is on top of Austria and Romania, so that's also a bit of a surprise. Granted, they've played the weaker teams, so that could be something to be said there. This is the shocker one. Group I. For all of you Italian fans. Okay? For all you Italian fans, Italy's in danger of missing their 3rd straight World Cup. Because Norway's on top. Perfect score. They recently beat Italy 3-0. Israel is in 2nd place. Italy, I mean, granted, they played 1 less game than Israel, only with 3 points. So that's a surprise. Then you got North Macedonia, Wales, Belgium. So this is another surprise brewing. North Macedonia doing the business against supposedly the bigger teams, getting those draws. And then England has been playing. They're above Albania and Serbia. That's somewhat expected. Albania having played more games, so they've drawn more of their games. That might be a bit of a problem for Albania. And then the Czech Republic ahead of Croatia, Montenegro. Maybe a bit of a surprise for Croatia there, but again, Czech Republic has played more games than Croatia. So the European calendar is a little bit complicated, to say the least, in that respect. But the action really starts again. This is the calendar for UEFA. September 4th and 6th. September 4th through the 6th. That's when the European qualifications begin again. And we're going to go full steam ahead. I mean, just September, October, November. Boom, boom, boom. That determines qualification for the World Cup at that point. Okay? Second place in each group will go to the playoff. Only the first group winner qualifies. That is correct. That's correct. Okay. Let me go back to Cincy SC. Let's go ahead and switch gears to answering questions about the RTBs. Again, I do have videos about this on my YouTube channel as well. Again, folks on TikTok, if you want me to answer your question, you got to join me on the YouTube live stream. Okay? You got to join me on the YouTube live stream because we're about 30 watch hours away from full monetization. And so if we get more people to join the live, not only are we going to achieve the watch hours, but I will answer all your questions. So if you join me on the live stream, I will answer your questions. I'm not answering questions on TikTok. I'm just letting TikTok know about it. Just letting TikTok know about it, all right? Okay. So, can I talk about the right to buy? Sure. I have purchased an RTB for Match 15 in LA. What do you know about it? Well, Cincy, clarify your question there. Can I buy any category once I have access with the RTB? Oh, okay. So, more than likely, that RTB, they're going to give you the category ticket. Okay, more than likely. Okay, because it's the right to buy a ticket. They're probably not going to give you the right to buy a category 1 ticket. Okay. The better people that you want to ask is there's this Discord server channel, FIFA Collect, that you can join that Discord channel or that Discord server, and they'll be able to answer those questions for you about specifically about how the RTBs are going to be used. But from my understanding, those RTBs are not going to be used, or rather, they're not going to give you the access to a Category 1 ticket. They're probably going to give you access to a Category 3 ticket, is my understanding of what's going to happen with these right to buys, okay? So actually, we have to go to the marketplace to search here, okay? All right. Let's see. So let's search here M15. And you tell me if you see your RTB as well. That'd be pretty good to see. If you do see it, please do let me know in the chat. Collectible, also valid for tour RTB. Wow. Let's see if we can find anything cheaper than $456 for the RTBs for Los Angeles for M15. Actually, what is M15? What is M15? By the way, you can check out my website, travelfootballfan.com, under FIFA tourneys. You click here. I have the schedule available there. It is a little bit on the smaller side. I haven't been able to get the formatting all too well, but let's see here. M15. Okay, it's just a Group G match. We do not know if that between first place and second place. Okay, got it. So M15, that's June 15th. So that's the second group stage match right there. Let's go ahead and check this out. So it looks like there's one for $450. Okay, I can see that. Okay, so here we go. Also valid as a right to buy for 2 tickets. Okay, so it's not going to tell you right here, okay, what tickets you could buy, what category, but the assumption is that you'll be able to buy Category 3 tickets. I'm not too keen, or I'm not too confident that FIFA's going to give people the ability to buy a Category 1 ticket by having bought the right to buy, especially if the right to buy was bought, let's just say, under market price. Okay, Cincy. So, again, let me know if you have any additional questions regarding RTBs in the comments. But that's really what my understanding is. I highly encourage you to join the FIFA Collect Discord server. They post a lot of stuff there. I don't really follow it all too closely, but they post a lot. And maybe they'll be able to better answer your questions there regarding the what tickets you'll be able to get from this right to buy. All right. Thank you for asking questions, though. When are the World Cup tickets out? By Obi Bryan. And again, TikTok, if you have questions you want me to answer, you have to join me in the YouTube live that I'm hosting right now. We're running towards the 30 watch hours that we have left. And so if you want your questions answered, you have to join me on the YouTube live stream. Okay. So you might be wondering, I'm going to answer your question right now. Why are we going to the Seattle homepage? Okay, why are we going to the Seattle homepage right here to answer the question about when are World Cup tickets going on sale? Because this is one answer. As you can probably see on the screen. The roadmap to 2026. So this is from the Seattle World Cup Host Committee, okay? They published this in a presentation that they were giving to potential funders, okay, earlier this year, okay? And the interesting thing about this presentation is that the roadmap that they presented, and this was one of those moments where I think this happened a couple months ago, where I said, like, hey, this could be a game changer for how they're gonna sell the tickets. So, in case you did not know, what the Seattle chief executive officer said is that the tickets would go on sale sometime between October and December. Okay? Let me repeat that one more time. The tickets for the 2026 World Cup, the regular tickets, are expected to go on sale between October and December of 2025. Okay? He also said in that presentation, which again, I created various pieces of social media on this. Okay? He said that the tickets were going to be sold, those regular tickets were going to be sold as packages first. Okay? And so that the regular tickets would come on sale in this period over here of January through April 2026. Okay? So that was what they had said. Okay? ticket sales here. Okay. And then further ticket sales here. But for the regular single game tickets, they would be here at the beginning of 2026. Okay. Now, Infantino has not verified nor has neither confirmed nor denied this roadmap by Seattle. He said in an interview with FDP Radio with Andres Cantor that they were just going to provide any and all information regarding ticketing for the 2026 World Cup after the Club World Cup. Okay. Of course, we also had that other information that was saying that the tickets would go on sale in September. Now, you might be wondering, wait a minute, but the draw, as indicated here by this roadmap on the Seattle FWC 26 website, it says that the draw is in December. That is correct. So that means, and this has been typical of previous World Cups, there is a first sales window or a blind sales window that happens before the draw. So why would you want to buy tickets in that first round, right? Okay, maybe you want to follow a specific team. So you're willing to buy the tickets for a specific team. Or you want to buy tickets for a specific city. You're not looking to travel. You want to go to a game in your city. So you're going to go ahead and buy the tickets for your city in that first window. Or if you want to go to a very specific game, like the inaugural, like the World Cup final or the semifinal or the third place, that's when you would buy those tickets too, because at that point you don't care about who makes it who's in those teams. Granted, the inaugural is going to be obviously with Mexico, but for the final, semifinal, third place, you don't care who the team is. You just want to be in that game, and so you buy the ticket to that game in that first sales window, okay? Or like I said, if you just want to pay, you want to buy the package for following a team, you will do that there as well, okay? So the problem is a couple of things, right? We don't know exactly when this starts. Okay? We don't know exactly when this starts. It could be, here we have October to December, but remember, Infantino said after Club World Cup, we'll give info, and other sources were saying September. So, now for clarification, CONMEBOL will finish their qualifiers September. Europe finishes in November. Europe finishes in November, as we saw. Asia finishes, I believe, October, if not November. Africa will also finish November. So it probably isn't November, because then that's too close to December for the draw. It could be September. It could be October. That would be the best guess. Maybe August is too early. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, the other factor is dynamic pricing. We don't know what's going to happen with that, because FIFA was flirting with the idea of dynamic pricing for the World Cup. I think that would be disastrous, to say the least. But we just do not know what's going to happen with dynamic pricing and how that would affect the ticket sales, right? And of course, what Peter Tomozawa, who is the president of the Seattle World Cup Committee, remember he said that they were going to sell it versus packages. So how does dynamic pricing affect, the sale of packages of these tickets, of the regular tickets for the World Cup? We do not know that as well. Okay? So yeah. All right. Wow, England just scored? Oh, wow, England just scored. So women's Euros. England scored, or was she outside? She was probably outside. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah, she was outside. Folks on TikTok, thank you for joining. I'm only answering questions if you join my YouTube live stream. We're trying to get those 30 watch hours, so go ahead and join me on the YouTube live stream if you want your questions answered. Okay, Dale Music, how you doing, bro? All right, what happens if tickets go on sale before we know the complete groups in December and I get a ticket from a game in Dallas, but it's not a national team I want to see? Is there a trade on FIFA? Yes. Well, at least historically, FIFA has hosted a resale market on its own website that would allow you to trade. Now, the speculation, and actually, no, not speculation, I think this was also in the presentation by Peter Tomozawa here of Seattle. He said that ticket transfers can only happen one time. You can only do one ticket transfer. Okay? If you do a second ticket transfer, the ticket is null and void. So the idea there is that is that the idea there is that it would it would cut down on scalping, because then you can't move that same ticket over multiple persons. Okay. So yes, but there will be an availability for you to sell it and then go from there. Okay. Did you see the update on the Visa integrity fee? I did not. If you want to share more information there, Stefan, that'd be great. Go ahead and share it as well. Again, TikTok, how you doing? I'm only answering questions if you join my YouTube live stream. I will answer all your questions there. We're trying to get the 30 watch hours, so go ahead and join the YouTube live stream. Okay? Join the YouTube live stream. I will answer all your questions there, TikTok. You're just joining here to be notified that I am live on YouTube. So go ahead, join my YouTube live stream if you want your questions answered. Dale. As soon as the draw happens, will flights and hotels go up? And will the price stay expensive or lower eventually down through the months of January to June? Okay, that's a good question. I anticipate the prices of hotels and flights to go up like the week after the draw. Absolutely, because the idea would be people would ideally be buying all their travel right after they know the draw happens, right? They're going to buy their travel, and so then, of course, that's going to then pretty much cut down on the availability of those flights, right? And we will be well within the period for people to buy said flights and hotels, over there in the summer. All right? So I highly recommend you folks that whenever they decide on the date of the draw, right, which could be if it's on a Saturday, folks, y'all ain't going to church on Sunday. All right? And I know for those of you that have religious services on Saturdays, try to book your travel within the 48 hours, right? If the draw's on a Sunday, you ain't going to work on Monday, because you're going to need that 48 hours to book all your travel right then and there. If you wait until later and later, as we get closer to the World Cup, it's going to be way too late, fam. It's going to be way too late. Way too late. So I highly recommend that you do purchase your travel in the 48 hours following the draw. I see the extortion worked. Well, I'm glad you're joining me here, because, again, we're trying to get the 30 watch hours on YouTube as fast as possible. So TikTok, if you join me on YouTube, I'll answer all your questions on YouTube. I'm only answering questions on YouTube, and you're going to help me get there. Look at 24 viewers. Okay, y'all need to stay here for at least another 45 minutes. I think that's going to help me catch this up, okay? So, again, not answering any questions on TikTok. You got to join me on YouTube to have me answer your questions, okay? Packages and stadium, are they going to be stadium packages? Yes, they probably should be stadium packages, because they should be the same as the same ones that you have on FIFA's website, right? For hospitality. So you are probably going to see the same packages, right? At least the same structure of the packages. I know that today, for some of you, you are able to purchase single game hospitality tickets, which is great for some of you. But the purchase window will open on July 14th for everybody else. So I was trying to get into it because I thought it was going to be today. That's what the person had told me, but it's not going to be today. It's going to be on the 14th, which is what? Next Monday. There you go. We can do the live about the single game hospitality packages on the Monday, okay? So if you're looking to purchase single game hospitality, that will be next Monday, okay? And we will be live and hopefully monetized. So we'll be able to do all the review about those single game packages here as well, okay? So yeah, so basically you're gonna have a venue series, a Follow My Team series, and the single game. So the expectation is, yes, we will have something very similar to that for the regular tickets. Correct. We will have something hopefully very similar to that as well. Okay. All right. What else? Visa appointments cost. Okay, that's what you meant. The Visa integrity fee. Okay. Yes, Stefan, I did hear about that. So, according to Stefan here, Visa appointment costs $185 as part of the big bullshit bill. Successful Visa applicants will soon have to pay an additional $250 that would be refunded if they don't break the rules. Wow. Do we trust this government to refund you your money? No. So they really are extorting the tourists, which again, these are these measures which should tell you that the U.S. government that we have right now does not care about the World Cup bringing in foreign visitors. They do not give a flying fuck. Okay? They do not care. They wouldn't be charging people. What's that? 185, 250. Let's do the math. Let's do the math on that one quick, all right? 185, 250. They wouldn't be charging people $435 just to come into the country. Like, what kind of, like, that doesn't scream tourism, y'all. That's not tourism. That's extortion. That is not tourism. Okay? So that is a horrific piece of policy that these Republicans have written. And they are Republicans. Don't tell me, oh, don't mix politics and sports. They are fucking Republicans that wrote the big bullshit bill. It's as simple as that. This is just discouraging tourism from abroad. That's what it is. Really disappointing to hear that. Thank you for the follows there on TikTok. By the way, TikTok, if you want me to answer your questions, you got to join me on the YouTube live stream. I'm only answering questions there. I'm trying to get to the 30 watch hours I need left to be fully monetized by Monday morning. So join me on the YouTube live stream if you want your questions answered. Okay? Join me on the YouTube live stream. Okay. Not sure when it'll be implemented though. It'll probably be implemented. Those are one of the things that will be implemented sooner. Okay, compared to some of the other policies there in that big bullshit bill. Really important to know that MetLife Stadium is mostly a cashless stadium. Gotta have a debit card, folks. You gotta have a credit card and more. And I would suspect, if I remember correctly with Qatar, you gotta have a Visa credit card. Okay, you gotta have a Visa to be able to buy things at the World Cup because remember, Visa is the official sponsor of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So yeah, you're probably gonna need a Visa. Yeah, see for example, my Capital One Venture X card, that is a Visa branded card. Yeah, you're going to need a Visa if you're going to do those purchases at the World Cup, okay? I'll stay for 45 minutes in exchange for a free consultation. Nah, hermano, come on now. Watching is free. I'll give you more tips. Look, I'll give you some tips for free. Ask me a travel question, I'll give you a free tip. And then you can still pay for the consultation later. Single match hospitality tickets is out for Canada. Do you think it's worth to buy? Steven, that really, again, depends on your budget. That really depends on what you're looking to do. If you're not looking to travel, if you're looking to splurge on a specific game, then go for it, okay? It obviously also depends on what each of these stadiums are offering, okay? Too bad I can't even follow, like check out the venue series. Like, I'd at least been able to see somewhat the maps and stuff. But if you want, depends on the game. It really does depend on the game. It really does depend on the stadium, okay? Where you could say to yourself, yeah, this game was worth, going in hospitality because the stadium is fantastic, because the facilities are fantastic. England just scored the third goal against the Netherlands. Damn, 3-0. The Lionesses over the Dutch. Oh, what a cross. Oh, yeah, that's a good goal. That's a good goal. So, yeah, Steven, I mean, you have priority access. I can see the price already. Okay, so if you know the price, okay, that's really going to be up to you. Like I'm not going to be the type of person that's going to say, don't do it. It's more about, does it fit your budget? Are you going to be traveling? Is this a marquee game that you really want to experience in hospitality? Like, all those are questions that you're going to have to answer for yourself. Because there really isn't a correct answer in that respect, if that makes sense, okay? It really does depend on what your plans are. Going to have to sell my left kidney for the World Cup? Probably, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would not recommend it. Question, remember you deposit $500 for hospitality. Is that not the same? For this, yes. For this hospitality, yes, it is, Jorge, okay? It is exactly the same thing. However, in my conversation with On Location, they did tell me that if the single game tickets, they are going to charge a 5 to 10% surcharge, or 5 to 10% more had you bought like a 2-game for a 4-game pack. So if you buy a hospitality ticket for one game, it's going to cost you slightly more per ticket. Had you bought, a 2-match or a 4-match series. So, yeah, the $500, you can't use it for the single game hospitality tickets, but you cannot use it for regular tickets. That is an important distinction to make. You cannot use it for regular tickets. It has to be for single game, for hospitality, whether that is a package or single game. You saw that Trump is going to the CONMEBOL Cup final. Yes, I did see that it was to be expected. I think I knew that ahead of time. I had some access to information, and I was not able to divulge ahead of time. But yes, totally expected. Even though there's a tragedy happening in Texas, he don't give a shit about that. He's going to go watch his game and sit next to Gianni in that respect. Is there any issues that the next World Cup can run into? Yes, absolutely. Trump. That's the fucking issue. That's the issue, my friends. The issue is Trump. That's the biggest issue that we'll be running into. ICE, deportations, concentration camps, all of it. Folks, come on now. That's the issue. Can borrow you my account to watch? No, Steven, that's okay because I'd rather not reveal your passwords or anything like that. But no, that's totally fine. I'll do the live on the 14th, and folks will be able to join in there. But yeah, basically the point is this: I would pick a stadium that really has the best overall viewpoints, right, and an aspect or package to it. That's how I would pick. All right. Okay, next question here. So realistically, what gets you in the door at the opener? I've seen some say 500 is the high end, but I'm playing for 750. Other group stage games around $200, $300 for the nosebleeds. I've been privy to some information. I'm not gonna share it yet because I need to verify it. But if this information is true, okay, for the opener, right? Because your question was the opener, right? Time's up. For the opener or just regular? If it's regular group stage games, 500 could maybe get you in at most of the games. Okay, and again, this is information I have. I'm not going to reveal it yet because I need to verify. But if true, 500, I'm looking at this chart, 500 will get you in, not for the opener. Not for the opener. Okay? Not for the opener, but for 500, that will get you in. For the nosebleeds, no, not 200, 300. It has to be 500. Folks, again, I'm yet to verify this information, but for the opener, if this information is correct, you're going to need at least $2,000. You're going to need at least $2,000 for the Category 3 tickets for the opener. Again, unverified information, but it looks legit. I have to do more math on it. I have to ask more questions, but it looks like they're looking to price it up there. Category 3, 2K. John, pa arriba, pa arriba, pa arriba, pa arriba. $500 potentially for regular ass group games. That's correct. Again, if I can verify this is unverified information. Okay, but it looks like it's going to be for the home opener, potentially 2K. It might be less, but if we're already aiming at 2K, then that means it's not going to be like $500, right? Like, best situation would be it's half of that. They want a stadium of extranjeros. Of course. This is all US dollars, papi. This is all US dollars. But again, I need to verify this information. That's why I'm not even showing it. Because what's the point? What's the point of me showing that information if I need to verify this? I need to verify the source. I need to verify the information, but anticipate those ticket prices to be high, folks. Okay, I hate to say even $500 for the tickets. Again, just for the tickets. Okay. So yeah. Jessica, do you think they will try to keep the teams to the same area? Last year in the Copa America, Colombia played in Texas, Arizona, Cali, and it was so exhausting getting around. Jessica, be ready to travel. Okay? I hate to say it, but you're going to have to be ready to travel because, okay, And maybe I should have opened up this document right here, group travel analysis. Here we go. So, Jessica, be ready to travel for this World Cup, okay? That's why I've always been saying that this World Cup is going to be the most expensive because of the travel, okay? Folks, again, TikTok, thank you for joining me. I'm only answering questions on YouTube. You got to join me on the YouTube live stream. We're trying to get to the 30 watch hours that I need left to be fully monetized by Monday morning. So please join me on YouTube if you want your questions answered, your comments commented, all that. Join me on YouTube in order for me to answer your questions. All right, Dale. All right, let me go ahead and make sure my phone is charging. Why is my phone not charging? That's weird. Okay, so Jessica, so if you see here at your screen, all right, this is a breakdown of the groups, okay, and where they are playing, not determine, A1 versus A2, A3 versus A4. Unfortunately, they haven't taken that information out. But if I had to pick the group that is going to be the easiest to travel, it would be this one, Group I. Okay, Group I would be the easiest to travel precisely because it's all in the Northeast. Oh, England just scored. Wow. Wow, what a goal. Dang, Netherlands don't know how to play defense. Damn, man. England out here taking scalps here. Damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, Jessica, easiest groups to travel is going to be Group I. It's all in the Northeast. New York, Boston, Philly, Toronto. You can take the Amtrak up and down. You can stay at Elizabeth, New Jersey if you want an affordable option. You can stay in Manhattan if you want to be in the heart of all the action. That's going to be the easiest group to travel. All other groups, you're moving. So that means it's also going to be much more expensive. Okay? TikTok, I'm only answering questions on the YouTube live stream. Help me get to the 30 watch hours I need left. I only need 30 watch hours. I need more people on the YouTube live stream. If you want your questions answered, join me on the YouTube live stream. So, yeah, Jessica. Basically, your hope is, and granted, you might not even live in the Northeast. So you might be like, oh, crap, now I got to go base myself in the Northeast. Correct. Now, the good thing is Amtrak is very, very well connected here in the Northeast. You can stay in D.C. and go up and down, up and down. You could do that. You can stay in Connecticut. You can stay in Rhode Island, in between New York and Boston. So you do have options, okay? But you will be traveling this World Cup. And there's no way around it, Jessica, regardless, okay? This breakdown of the groups and the travel analysis is available on my website, travelfootballfan.com, if you want to go ahead and take a look. All right? They're keeping the groups in the same time zones. Well, somewhat in the same time zones, yes. Right? As you can see, for example, Group K, Ciudad de Mexico, Houston, Guadalajara, Houston, Atlanta, Miami. They were like in the central time zone, and then they moved it to the East Coast for the third match day. Right? That kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But for the most part, they are in the same time zone. What do you think the cheapest tickets for LA opening USA game will be? Again, if this information that I got, I need to verify it first. If it's reliable, where is this? That can't be right. If this information is reliable, they don't even have pricing for it. They don't even have pricing for it. Oh, shite. They don't even have pricing for it. They want to make sure that people spend their money. Oh, here we go. Okay. For the USA opening game, they have no information on the prices. I had to keep searching for it. But if you want the other USA game in LA, again, unverified information, but be ready to shell out $1,500 for the cheapest tickets. Be ready to shell out $1,500. All right. Okay. Let me go ahead and go through some other questions right here. Again, TikTok, thank you for joining. I'm only answering questions on the YouTube live stream. We're trying to get to 30 watch hours. So I need more people to join the YouTube live stream, and I will answer any and all your questions. Today's the day to get free travel tips. So if you have good questions, ask them. I will answer them. Quarterfinal prices, I have no idea. Well, actually, maybe you do have some idea. Quarterfinals. Yeah, be ready to pay probably, again, unverified info, 1,000. Aim for around there. 1,000 just for the tickets. I live in Florida, but most of my family live in New York. So, Jessica, you might be in a bit of a luck. If your team falls in Group I, you hit the jackpot. Stay in New York City, go up and down the Amtrak. All right? And may I suggest that you get yourself the Amtrak credit card, get yourself some Amtrak points, and save money by using those Amtrak points. If you need further advice on that, book a consultation with me on my website. We can set you up with that, but that would be my advice. All right? That would be my advice. Okay? Not your fault, but if your evaluation of 2K-ish is correct, completely deflated any excitement for next summer. Folks, I've been saying it for the past 3 years. This was going to be the most expensive World Cup ever. Not even just because of the tickets. Not even just for the tickets. Just the fact of travel was going to make it expensive. How much do you think would be the cheapest tickets for groups for the game stage MetLife? It could be in the 500s, folks. At that point, 500. I'm taking Amtrak from Virginia to NYC, so Amtrak's a very good idea. That's the same thing I'm going to do it, David. I'm in the D.C. area. That's exactly what I'm doing. It was hot as shit yesterday in the Chelsea game. Man, I wanted Chelsea to lose so bad. Qatar opening game 1 category was $618. Pero no quieren hablar mierda. Pero mira, hablaron mierda de Qatar, and now look, we're going to be twice that, potentially. That's how you know it's not reliable, or they ain't trying to surprise everyone with outrageous prices. We'll have to see. All right. Again, folks, TikTok, thank you for joining. I'm not answering your questions here on TikTok. I'm only answering them on YouTube. Go join my live stream. I'm trying to get the final push for monetization. I just need 30 watch hours. I think we probably have gotten 20? I've had like consistent viewership the last hour of 15 viewers. So I just need a couple bit more of you to join. And maybe we'll run it for an extra 20, 30 minutes. I'll answer any and all of your travel questions for the World Cup. Just join me on the YouTube live stream. That's how you know. Yeah, so again, the prices might be that ridiculous for next summer. It might be that ridiculous. All right. Venue series in Toronto costs 15,970 Canadian dollars for 6 games. That's probably what like $18,000, $19,000 US for 6 games. Coño, está carito for 6 games. 20. Let's just say 20K US, more or less, right? Wait, puta, está caro, right? Because that's basically like $3,000 a ticket, about, give or take. Oof, that's like $3,000 a ticket, my guy. I don't know if and again, it depends on the stadium, but yikes, that's a lot, no? When should we be expecting general and pre-sale tickets? David, we don't know yet. Okay, we don't know yet. Again, based on the information by the Seattle World Cup Committee, the ticket sales could be happening October to December. Okay, that could be when we should expect ticket sales. But again, Infantino, FIFA, no one else has confirmed when exactly this is going to happen. Book Amtrak as soon as you get the tickets ahead of time. Yep, so now it can be cheap, correct? Yeah. Very solid advice there, David. Me after paying $500 to see North Macedonia versus Uzbekistan in Houston. That is a possible game. North Macedonia is Europe and Uzbekistan is Asia, folks. That is a totally possible game, folks. Do you think New Jersey Transit did enough for the Club World Cup? So much traffic to MetLife Saturday and yesterday. I mean, I didn't get to go to any of the games. Remember, they are building a transit way, which is going to be this bus line that's going to connect Secaucus Junction Station of the New Jersey Transit with MetLife. So hopefully the traffic situation improves there. That is crazy money. Yeah, that is crazy money. $20,000 for 6 games in hospitality. That is about 6 times 3 is 18, right? Yeah. That's about $3,000 a game. I'm not sure if that's worth it. I mean, are you looking at the VIP suites? Again, USD worth more than Canadian, of course, Steven. But Steven, let me know, is this for BC Place or is this for BMO Field? Because, I mean, again, and what type of hospitality is this? This is not Pavilion. They better not be charging you $3,000 a ticket for Pavilion. If it's Pavilion Run, do not do that one, okay? My thing with hospitality is this. If you're going to ball out and go hospitality, then ball the fuck out. Like, do not go for Pavilion because that's like a poor man's expensive ticket. No, I want you in the VIP suite. I want you sipping on that champagne and Hennessy, and I want you to have a damn good time. I don't want you to be being cheap as fuck trying to be expensive. Okay? So, Steven, if this is $3,000 per game at BMO Field Pavilion, no. If this is $3,000 per game at the VIP section, at the pitch side lounge, at BC Place, maybe. If you got it like that, Papi, go ahead and spend that money if you want, Papi. Now, I would highly recommend you also sign up for a Travel Rewards credit card. Get yourself those bonus points right there, and that way use those points to save on your travels next summer. That too. Went to the Real Madrid game in Miami. That same is terrible when it comes to traffic and Sam. Hey, JC, can you please comment in my video to all those bums that keep saying that I am lying about that? Like, it's insane how many people lack the empathy to just want to figure, like, hey, you know what? Maybe some people did have a terrible experience. I agree with you, JC. No public transportation in Miami. Oh, hey, I posted the video and tagged you on who attended a VIP boat party with the mayor of Miami. I said TikTok, I was not going to answer any questions. You got to do it on the YouTube live stream. Okay. Dale, tortilla, let's talk afterwards. Pero está como bonito el chisme ahí, right there. Pero if you want any questions answered regarding the World Cup, YouTube live stream, we're going for the 30 public watch hours. I need people to join the live stream now. We might even go for 2 hours. I'm happy to go for 2 hours if I'm answering all your questions. Okay? So JC, again, I'm not surprised. I'm from Miami. Yo sé que así la vaina. In Miami with Hard Rock Stadium, no public transportation, no reliable public transportation, no Metro Rail station there. It is a mess. It is a mess in Miami, and they have not really done anything. They have not announced anything regarding a public transportation stuff. Y me emputa. Like, I'm sorry to say it, pero it's like, bro, like, I want my city to have the World Cup. I want us to be good. But damn it, hagan algo, carajo. Hagan algo. Es que da rabia. Es que like, we should be a global powerhouse city if we just put some stuff together, man. Like, damn. It's just super frustrating, man. Bro, I was roasting at the game. Excuse me. Here we go. I went to the Chelsea match yesterday, my first game ever watching teams outside USA. One of the greatest sports experiences ever. Definitely will show up for World Cup 26. Good. Jacoby, that is the promise that the U.S. can have of a World Cup. We can and we do host very good events, very good soccer games. When I went to the Palmeiras-Chelsea match in Philadelphia, definitely a World Cup preview for next summer. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. If only we did not have Trump in the White House. If only we didn't have Trump in the White House. I went to the games in Camp World. It was hot, but it was easy getting in and out. I've gone to Hard Rock and MetLife, and their traffic sucks. Well, it is what it is, you know. Definitely, again, agreed on the Hard Rock there. MetLife, again, I've not been to a game in MetLife, so it's a little bit harder to pretty much give it there. Steven, BMO Field and its pavilion. No, I will not do it. I will not do it. For 6 games. Oh, excuse me. So the math is backwards, right? It's not 3,000. It's not 20,000. Right? How much did you say it was again, hon? Sorry, you're right. I did my math backwards. 15,970 Canadian. That's not more money. That's not more US dollars, right? That's less US dollars, right? Yes. That's probably what, 13,000? Sorry, I did the math wrong there. That's about 13. 6 times 2. Okay, that still comes out to 2,000 US dollars per game in pavilion. Steven, I'm not so sure I would do that. For pavilion, I wouldn't do it. For $2,000, I would not do it. Yeah, there's you know which stadium, if I may give you some piece of advice, that you can pay for a better hospitality experience at that price? Lincoln Financial Field, Philadelphia. Their Champions, I think it was the Champions Suite, goes for $1,900. And it's center field, right in the middle. I didn't get to experience it right now. But what the folks at On Location was selling me, I would say, if you want, for that money, don't go to BMO Field. I would say Philadelphia has the best one at that price point. My 2 cents on that. All right? My 2 cents of that. Oh, I call it one Poppy, man. I call it one Poppy. I'm still in Miami, bro. Miami is one of the worst when it comes to parking. Only Gillette is worse. Yeah, I agree. And also because, if no one gets bribed in Miami, nothing gets done. That is very true, Juan. We'll save money on a place to stay in Ciudad Mexico with grandma, but 2K praying to FIFA the gods that it's false. Yeah, I mean, based on the information I got, I mean, again, it's not verified, but if that's how they're aiming, that the tickets might be $2,000 for Category 3 for the inaugural, oof, it's a lot, man. It's a hell of a lot of money. Hell of a lot of money, for sure. VIP venue series is 29,000 Canadian, which is 21,000 for 6 games. For BMO Field, again, I think it also depends on the stadium. Here's what I would do also. I'm guessing you live in Toronto. If you can get a tour of BMO Field right now and go check out their hospitality places. Ask them, hey, can I come in to the stadium and quickly check out your hospitality section? Because I'm considering buying, but I want to see what will be offered. And see if it's worth $20,000 for the 6 games. That would be my other piece of advice. That would probably be more useful for you. Yeah, I had a meeting with one of the FIFA reps and they had most pavilions at 3K. Yeah, to me, the pavilions are a waste of time, okay? They're a waste of time because they're just going to put you underneath a tent. And the seats might even be up in the nosebleeds. So why the hell would you pay a supposed hospitality? Oh, that was almost a goal by England, Jesus. Why would you pay hospitality pricing for like an inferior product? I wouldn't. Again, my whole viewpoint is this. If you're going to ball out with hospitality, ball out with hospitality. Do not pay pavilion. I'm afraid if FIFA uses dynamic pricing, the category system for tickets will not happen. Correct. It wouldn't happen. Correct. It wouldn't happen. Category 4 will be a price for Category 1. Correct. All that is correct. TED Talk, thank you for joining me. I'm only answering questions on the YouTube live stream. Join me. That way I can get the full monetization up and running by Monday. We're going to take this another half hour. That should get me enough hours. All I needed was 30. So if you want your questions answered, anything on travel, I'm giving fair free advice. Go ahead and join me on YouTube. Charlotte was an amazing experience. Really, David? I didn't really like Bank of America Stadium when I went there for the Copa America semifinal. Colombia, Uruguay. I didn't like it. I didn't like Bank of America Stadium. The entry points was weird. The layout was weird. Obviously, no roof doesn't help. Didn't really like it. Also, I lost my phone during the whole day, so. Oh, man. So, yeah. I don't have YouTube. You can still join the live stream, Giorgio. You can still join the live stream. Just go to youtube.com, look for my name, Travel Football Fan. You can still join it. You should still be able to join it. And if not, create an account. What does Trump have to do with the soccer experience? Well, foreign tourists can't come in. His policies have created a sense of fear amongst certain communities, right, with the ICE raids and all that bullshit. And no one likes him. So that's why. The Club World Cup has been amazing. Yes, I agree. The games have been great. Luckily, ICE backed down and didn't do none of their nonsense that they were very publicly highlighting and posting on socials that they were going to do. So, but yeah, no one likes Trump and no one likes his policies that are anti-tourist, anti-tourism economy focused and everything. So, yeah, he has a lot to do with the potential success or not of not only of the World Cup next summer for sure. Club World Cup is going to be like a 50-50. You know, the games are great. The tourism wasn't necessarily that great. The ticket prices were obviously not that great either, but that's not in his privy. I wouldn't put the ticket prices on Trump. That's more on Infantino, of course. I'm in Toronto, so I save any money, travel and living costs. That is true, Steven. That's true. So whatever you would have spent on travel, that's part of your equation that you got to take into account. Correct. As much as I wanted to go to this World Cup, I think I'm going to have to wait for Spain, Portugal. Probably way cheaper. Maybe? Because then now you have to take into account the flights are going to be slightly more expensive because you're not going international. Granted, flying to Europe, you're going to have multiple options and then be able to make your way back down to Spain, Portugal, correct? And Morocco, right? So it is possible that it could be cheaper. It is possible. You know which World Cup's going to be even cheaper? Saudi Arabia. Of course, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is going to come in to the rescue as the country that's going to have everything in one place, like Qatar. It's going to be cheaper because we can cover the costs, like Qatar. So I definitely expect 2026 to be the most expensive on record. 2030 could be as expensive or slightly cheaper, and then 2034 to be much cheaper. You know? So yeah. ¿Como cuánto calculas para el tercer juego de México en la ciudad? Pues mira, los de México sí van a ser más caros que los otros partidos de grupo, porque si esta información que tengo es hay cierto nivel de qué, si es verdad la información que tengo, la boleta para ese tercer partido sí va a ser más cara que los otros partidos del grupo. Yo, honestamente, si quieres ir para un partido de México, iría al del segundo o el tercero, no a la inaugural, porque la inaugural de pronto te vale, como estaba diciendo antes, ¿cuánto dije? Como unos $2,000. Si quieres ahorrar un poquitito más de dinero, póngale por ahí $1,000 para los otros dos partidos de México. Es que esa boleta es la más en demanda que va a haber en la historia del deporte y del entretenimiento. La boleta de México va a ser una más caras. Posiblemente va a ser más cara de los Estados Unidos y más cara del Canadá. Así es la demanda para esa boleta, no solamente por los mexicanos, pero también por el hecho que pues los otros fanáticos como yo, que siendo colombiano, pues ok, mi esposa es mexicana, pues que pues también queremos ver ese éxito, ¿no? Queremos ver a México pues por ser país de sede del mundial, por querer estar en esa fiesta. Entonces, let's see. Mi consejo es, si vas a ir para querer ver a México, primero que todo, enfócate en el segundo partido que va a ser en Guadalajara y el tercer partido que sí va a ser en la Ciudad de México, y prepárate a pagar por ahí $1,000 por boleta. Por ahí. Pero, o sea, de esta información, pues, no es necesariamente confirmada. Todavía tengo que hacer mis llamadas, tengo que, pues, ahí buscar más información para ver si en realidad cuál va a ser el precio actual de esas boletas. Pues sí. When will you share your source for the prices? Once I confirm it. And once I confirm it. TED Talk, thank you for joining me over here on, right now, I'm pursuing the 30 watch hours for monetization on YouTube. We are almost there. Join me on the YouTube live stream. I'm only answering questions on YouTube. Ask me any questions you want on travel for the World Cup. Join me right now on the YouTube live stream, and I'll answer your questions there. The atmosphere at Bofa was amazing, but the experience terrible. I don't know if you saw a video. The one Madrid fan complained about the entrance going in, but he was right. Yeah, no, I did see that video. Okay? So I would, man. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay. Yeah, I did see that video by that Spaniard. And again, I think what that highlights, and for those of you that did go to Qatar, that highlights that FIFA, even I felt they did a good job, at least at Audi Field, of having enough volunteers walking around to let people know where they needed to go to enter the stadium. I think that's what needs to happen for next summer, even more so. They need to recruit even more volunteers. They need to recruit more people, okay, and more signage in all the different languages to help people get to where they need to go to, okay? Because that's really the only way that you're going to be able to make the fan experience better. And I know that in this country, right, compared to the three, the U.S. is the worst at trying to be hospitable, right? To be concerned about the fans' concerns, okay? We're very much a society where it's like, you don't know where the fuck you're going? Fuck it. Like we're not really trying to help you out overall as a society. Is there going to be some cities that are going to be better at that than others? Yes, I believe so. But yeah, I would say I agree with that. I would agree with what that Real Madrid fan was saying, because if there's not that signage, if there isn't helpful individuals, right, enough volunteers, and it's just security people that don't even want to be there, they're being paid low wages, they don't give a damn if you make it to the game or not, then yeah, it's gonna feel like it's a shitty experience, you know, for sure. You know, give me 2 seconds, folks. Sorry, I'm trying to focus something here. In the meantime, keep dropping your questions. You know, they need to hire that Metro this way guy from Qatar. That's correct, Juan. That is correct. They need to hire that guy. They need to have more people like that all throughout. You know, all throughout the World Cup. Thank you for your patience, folks. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, correct. Also, Juan, on the transcontinental flight for 2030, if you're a fan of Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and whoever's playing against those teams too, right? No, that makes sense. Does my girl get a ring, or do I use binoculars to see Mexico lose the opener? Hey, man, I'm not answering that question for you, because I don't want you to be popping up this video and showing your girl that, like, you know, the video evidence. Like, hey, but see, Travel Football Fan told me to not buy you the ring, you know? Like, he told me to go for the opener. It's like, no. Don't be putting that on me, fam. USA is not ready to handle that many people into the stadiums. They better be, considering that in this big dumbass bill, big bullshit bill, excuse me, they did give the city $625 million in security funding. So if they ain't ready with that amount of money, then the corruption just went up the scales, folks. Do you think FIFA makes these guys play too many games? Yeah, they do. They do. It's as simple as that. NYC will be a mess planning a trip around that time. Why would it be a mess? I think if anything, I mean, look, are all the public transportation systems across the United States going to be strained? Yes. Facts. Right? If there's a city that would be capable of managing it, it would be New York, I feel. I might be wrong. I might be biased about New York too, because I actually do like New York. I do like New York, don't get me wrong. But I could be biased. When do tickets go on sale in Houston? Again, if you see the screen in front of you, this is the roadmap that the Seattle World Cup host committee set up. The tickets are expected to go on sale for everybody between October and December of this year. We just don't have any further information on how that ticket sale is going to go. We don't have any further information on how exactly that ticket sales process is going to look like. Okay, we don't quite know exactly how that's going to look like. How much do you expect the tickets for the final to cost, folks? It's thousands. It's as simple as that. Thousands. Okay, thousands. All right, if you're not ready to drop thousands of dollars for the final, yeah, then consider other games. Sorry to say, folks. And remember, it's not just the ticket, right? Again, if you live in the area, that's one thing, right? But if you're looking to travel to the region, hotels is going to be expensive. You're going to need at least 3 nights. Which airport are you flying into? More likely you're flying into Newark, because that's closer to the stadium than JFK or LaGuardia. If you're going to go by train, then stay somewhere outside of that New York, New Jersey area. So yeah. Again, thousands of dollars just for the ticket, but don't forget to travel. Okay? Do you think 1,000 or 2,000 will be enough for one ticket? Probably. For the group stage, regular stage, it probably should be. For the final, no. No. Guys, you're thinking way too low. FIFA's trying to make money. $1,000, $2,000 is not enough for the final. If the information I have here is, well, actually, I don't even have the information because it's not, yeah. 3. No. Again, I have to verify this information, but if I'm gonna make guesstimates, that's probably enough for half of the ticket. $1,000, $2,000 for the final is probably half. Saw on SeatGeek for 20. Yeah, SeatGeek is selling fake tickets because those are not. No one has that access to those tickets. They're selling the hospitality tickets probably. That's what they're trying to sell you, the hospitality ticket. But regular tickets, no. PSG versus Madrid. Who I got? PSG. For the final, a good 5K would be my guess. About Sebas, about 5K would be my guess. For the final, for sure. About 5. All right. TikTok, thank you for joining me. If you want your questions answered on the World Cup, I'll answer anything related to travel, World Cup, anything. Go ahead. Join me on the YouTube live stream. We're about to hit the 30 watch hours. That's where we're doing that big push right now. So I'm happy to stay on a little bit longer until we get that 30 watch hours. I got to verify and see how much we got left to go. I think if we stay on for another 10, 20 minutes, we might get it. And also, oh yeah, look, I forgot my ask. Oh my goodness. It looks like many of you have subscribed. Great. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Like the live as well. Okay, take it 2 seconds. Like the live. Click on the bell button to be notified when I go on live again. And comment on the live. Let me know what you think of the live as well. Okay? So yeah. But we have to see just exactly how much. Do we know how much watch hours we gained? Oh, it's not going to tell me. It's not going to tell me the stats. Oh, it is telling me the stats. All right, 12 minutes. Yeah, but come on. You got to tell me. You got to tell me more than that. Analytics. Concurrent viewers, chat rate, views. Well, I don't really care about the views. Stream health. Yeah, that's excellent. Okay. Damn. Okay. Average view duration 12 minutes. That's pretty good though. But it is not telling me. All right, we got 5 likes already on the live. Thank you. Just take 2 seconds. Go ahead and click on the like button there as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. I'm just trying to check the stats here as well. But unfortunately, it's not giving me how many hours we have gained from this. All right, let's get going then. World Cup favorite and the player of the tournament. So you mean Fournette's here? Who's gonna win the World Cup? Probably Argentina again. They got the deepest squad, period. Player of the tournament. I don't know. It's gonna be someone that didn't play in the Club World Cup. So I mean, it could be Yamal. That could be a tournament for Yamal. If Spain wins the World Cup, and it's Yamal, right? Like I think that would be the easiest pick. I think that would be the easiest pick. So yeah, it would be that. All right, folks. TikTok, thank you for joining me. If you want your World Cup questions answered for travel, anything, join me on the YouTube live stream. Folks on YouTube, feel free to keep asking questions. Happy to keep going. Let me know all your questions. I'm giving away free advice today, folks. So you want all your questions answered? Go ahead and ask me today, because after that, I'll still give free advice, of course. Just, I think you're getting a special with me today, considering the push that we're trying to do for the public watch hours. So yeah, but feel free to ask any other questions as well. Spain, Argentina final. I still think it's Argentina, France until further notice. I think it's still Argentina, France. I think those are the top 2 teams. Spain would have to dethrone one of them to take their spot. Europe is too OP. They're getting pretty stacked, I will say that. And Brazil is not stacked. So Argentina is about like the only team right now that's stacked in the Americas. To be able to make it the distance, yeah. If you want a dark horse team, Paraguay's been playing great, but I'm still gonna be bullish on Colombia. Just that's a homer pick for me. But yeah, that's that. By the way, folks, make sure that you also do watch my video on the places to see in Monterrey. I did publish that yesterday, so just in case if you need to go now, that's another great way to support my work is by watching that video on the places to see in Monterrey. Let me know if you like it. Just comment and like on it, so in that way I can go ahead and make that pitch to other host cities. That if they pretty much invite me over, I'll be able to go ahead and do a similar video and encourage more people to go to their host city. So yeah, quick question: what does the follow my team mean? Like, how does that work? You follow your team through the group stage. So you basically have to travel between those cities. And if they make it to the next round, if you buy the hospitality, it probably is going to be the same thing for the regular tickets. Then you get to have the ticket for your team. And if they don't make it to the next round, then you get the game ticket for the first place finisher of that group. Okay. Portugal versus Spain, Ronaldo versus Messi, The Last Dance. Oh, so it's either Portugal, Spain, or Ronaldo versus Messi, The Last Dance. That would be crazy if it's set up that way. Do you think that the tickets for every game will be released at the same time or through several drop phases? I think it'll be released all at once, but there's going to be different sales windows for sure. Colombia has potential, yeah, but, it is what it is. Colombia has potential, but I think, I mean, definitely the pressure was on against Peru. I mean, that they felt the weight of the jersey and they just could not overcome it. So I think there was just a lot of tension there, a lot of nerves. They were really, really giddy about that 24-game win streak, and they just need to come back to realization that it's not that they're a mid-team. It's just that they went on an unprecedented run, and they should just be happy about that, and not just got to try to pick themselves back up and go from there. It's as simple as that. So, yeah. I think that's how I would classify it. That's how I would classify it. So, yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay. How about this? Let's finish this in 4 minutes. It looks like other folks don't have any other questions. But if you have any final questions, let's finish this live in 4 minutes. I'm confident that we got to where we needed to get to. Okay. Again, if you haven't watched my video on the places to see in Monterrey, go check that out after we're done with this live, or go check it out right now. That way you can go ahead and further support my work. It is 2 o'clock here on the East Coast, so I do have some other stuff to do. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Okay, go ahead and watch my video on the places to see in Monterrey, and hopefully, other cities will be more willing to go ahead and support my work by having them come to, having me go to their host city or something, to that effect. But yeah, other than that, final questions. We're going to end at, in the next 3 minutes. Does the Follow My Team option sales go on July 14th? For hospitality, I believe that's the hospitality. So yes, hospitality, July 14th. All tickets for hospitality, single game, Follow My Team, and venue series will be available July 14th for the public. You know what cities are going to go already? I mean, I'm in D.C. Obviously, Philadelphia, Newark, those are the closest to me. Hopefully, Colombia lands there. I hope Colombia doesn't land in a West Coast city. I'm hoping Colombia does not get into Mexico, if only because I want to avoid the Mexico-Colombia game. For those of you who don't know, my wife is Mexican, so I want to avoid that type of situation. But if Colombia plays in Monterrey, that would be fantastic. I think I would be happy with that. Do you see Mexico making it to the 5th game? I do, actually. Raul Jimenez is back, and I'm very bullish on him. He's a really great player, so I think they do make it to the 5th game. Remember, that's around a 16, so it's always been the objective to make the quarterfinal. Can they make the quarterfinal? Yeah, because the round of 32 and the round of 16 games, if they finish first in their group, will be at Azteca. So this is their World Cup to make that run. If they don't take advantage of it, don't know what to tell you. When do the qualifiers end? Mid-November. That's when the qualifiers end. Mid-November. Okay? Mid-November. So by that point, we will know basically everybody but 4 teams. Those 4 teams will play in an intercontinental playoff, I believe in Qatar, in March of 2026. So the draw would have already happened, and then basically they get placed into one of those spots. Will you attend the friendly between Colombia and Mexico in October? I won't, unfortunately. That's in Dallas. I'm not going to go ahead and spend money to go down there. A Colombia-Mexico knockout game would be epic. It would be, but I don't want to break Mexico's hearts. I don't want to break the hearts, man. I want to avoid heartbreakers, all right? I want to avoid that heartbreaker. It will not be a good times in my house, all right? It will not be good times in my house. So, yeah. All right, final minute, folks. Final minute. I gotta go do I gotta run some chores. Gotta run some of them errands. Gotta keep the house nice and organized. What can I say? Final questions, folks. Final questions. For those of you going to the Real Madrid PSG game, have a good time. Hopefully it all goes well for y'all. Whoever wins, don't matter to me. But hey, it matters for you, of course. Enjoy the game. If you're watching on TV, also enjoy it on the telly. And we will go from there. All right? Thank you so much for your sintonía. I hope this clinched us the 30 public watch hours. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching the entire hour and a half. Like, really, thank you so much. All right? I hope the chat was good. If it was good conversations, good chat. Lovely. Appreciate it. Dale, mi gente. Ahí nos vemos. Muchas gracias.